And I'll try to see my black ass. Hold on. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I'll be back, hoes. Give me a second. Okay. So, let me make sure y'all can hear me. And then I'm going to do Sandra Bland first. Then I'm going to do Anne Heche. Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Okay, y'all can hear me. Period. Period, period. Let me turn these down. Okay, today's reading is going to be a little bit more heavier. And we're going to do Sandra Bland first. And then we're going to do Anne Heche. Anne Heche, I believe. If I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought it was Anne Hirsch, but I think it's Anne Heche. I watched a few deep dives and I realized, like, oh, it's Heche, I think. So, Sandra Bland was a victim of police brutality in 2015, I believe. And a cop had arrested her at a traffic stop. And they sentenced her to, they booked her. And then they claimed that she committed suicide in her jail cell by hanging herself. And people believe that even in her mugshot, she was deceased in her mugshot. And so I just want to see, like, you know, what was going on in that whole thing. And yeah, so I have a couple of questions written down here. Oh shit, wait, I can't see. Okay, hold on, sorry y'all, I should have got myself situated before. Okay, so my question for Sandra is, my first question for Sandra is, what is Brian in Encinias? That's the officer that, you know, was involved in her accident. What was his true intentions towards Sandra when he pulled her over? What was Brian's intentions towards Sandra Bland when he pulled her over? What was Brian's intentions towards Sandra when he pulled her over? We have a grave mistake. We have a change of tune. Sorry, but y'all don't mind. My camera is off because it's dark out here. I was supposed to do the reading earlier, but I didn't feel like it. The mundane. Okay, so this was a racial act. It was, y'all, it was racially motivated. 100%. 100 motherfucking percent. What else? Also, this motherfucker isn't a good person at all. He's a corrupt cop. Always in everybody's motherfucking business. Always got his nose in this and his hand in this and that. I think he got fired. But see, it was a long time coming because I honestly think an investigation was open on him anyway, or like he was like his name rung a bell within the department. And this was honestly just the icing on the cake, to be honest with you. He didn't go to jail, but he got fired because this motherfucker, and he was sloppy with it too. Like, this motherfucker was so corrupt and he was sloppy with it. Anyways, yeah, it was racially motivated. And this motherfucker has like evil energy. Like, his energy is not very good. It's almost as if he's like possessed or something. Like, and we have stony indecision. The sanctuary. He was trying to, okay, so he wasn't trying to, like, yeah, his intention was to take her to jail. Like, his intention was to take her to jail 100%. And she just so happened to pass away, but I mean, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? That's crazy. I don't know if he was by himself. I don't know if he was by himself. The deep dive that I watched, and mind you, there's very little videos of Sandra Bland and what happened to her online. Like, there's very little that actually like explain what happened. Whereas with Ann Hirsch and never mind, let me not go there. Okay, because both of these ladies have tragically passed on. Excuse me. So, you know. But so her story is pretty straightforward from what I've heard. But it's like, I don't know if he was by himself. I mean, the cards indicate that he was by himself. Like, he acted alone, even though he didn't. I mean, excuse me, even though he may have not. Like, I don't know if anyone was with him when he pulls her over. But if somebody was with him, their intentions weren't the same. Like, their intentions of whoever was with him, they weren't pulling her over for like a racially motivated reason. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it was racially motivated 100%. And this motherfucker, he's not a good person. He's evil. I don't know. I mean, this may be like obvious to y'all, but I think that as an officer, even back then, you took an oath to like not be discriminatory. And with the card that came out with repression, he took the oath, but his oath didn't reflect his true feelings towards persons of color. Was Sandra Bland deceased in her mugshot? Now, people suspect that she was filmed, that she was photographed while laying down, and they think that she was dead. So we're gonna ask, was Sandra Bland Then her mugshot. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Three of Pentacles. Y'all. And then we have the Two of Wands in reverse. And yes. Yes, she was. Ain't that's yeah, she was. That's crazy. That's some crazy shit. Okay. Did she hang herself? Did Sandra hang herself? Did Sandra Bland hang herself? We have the Two of Swords. Y'all, I don't think so. I think she was, I think she did suffocate, like, when it comes, I think her cause of death was, like, suffocation or something like that, or, like, some form of, like, abuse. I think she was, like, suffocated, but she didn't hang herself. No. No. Okay, so why did they murder her? Why did they murder her? And the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And the Strength card. The Hierophant. The Three of Cups in reverse. And what is this? The Page of Wands in reverse. I think that they murdered her because, well, the biggest thing I'm saying here is race. And also, she had a temper, y'all. She had a mouth on her. And I think that she got under their skin and they assaulted her, and then she ended up passing away. That's what I think happened. That's crazy. Rest in peace to Sandra Bland. That's some demonic ass shit, y'all. That's some demonic ass shit. And as much as white people like to say that we're the aggressors, I highly doubt a black person would have thought of some shit like that. Such as taking a mugshot of a deceased person and making it seem like they're alive. And two, y'all, that's very, what is it? What is that word? Macabre. And that's very grotesque and that's very demonic. And mind you, white people used to eat black people. I'm sure some of them still do. And they just go under the radar. But black people are less likely to do some shit like that. You hardly ever hear black people being cannibalistic. Hardly. And I mean, yeah, I mean, You know what? We just gonna move on to um, Anne Heche. Anne Heche. And I'm gonna hurry up. I'm gonna hurry up because I'm hungry. And also, nothing is fucking charged. See, I call myself charging my phone, but then my computer ain't charged, my damn lamp ain't charged. I'm just over here winging it. Okay, Anne Heche. Okay, so Anne Heche used to date Ellen. Used to date Ellen, and um they're trying to make it seem like, oh, because she was gonna put out a documentary based on trafficking, they killed her. So we gonna see if that's the case. Um, and so the day that she passed away, there was a wig retailer that said that he saw her just an hour before she got into a car crash. And I just want to see, like, that's one of my questions, like, why did she go buy a wig before she passed away? And then she her car, that big ass SUV, ran into a house, and they claimed that the car caught on fire and she was severely burned. And then there's also a video of when they were taking her out in the stretcher in a body bag. Basically, anyone would assume she had passed away, like she's dead. But Anne burst out the body bag, the stretcher, and started fighting the ambulance, and they kept shoving her in the truck. So then boom, they say that she's in stable condition. Then they say that, she was on life support. Then they say that they're putting her on life support because she's an organ donor, so that they were going to take her organs and then they were going to pull the plug, and eventually they did. So everything, everybody's saying like, oh, this is weird and all that. And so this also was requested by Tamiko. Shout out to Tamiko, period. And I'm gonna see, what's it given. So first, I do want to dig into her relationship between her and Ellen DeGeneres. So my question is, what was the energy in regards to Ellen and Anne? Oh shit. What was the energy surrounding Ellen and Anne's relationship, Anne Heche's relationship? We have a helping hand. We have shimmering influence. We have friendship. A grave mistake. I think that one, it's weird. And I think it's Ellen's energy. I think Ellen was a lot more cold towards Anne, and Anne was the more person that was receptive in the connection. Do I think that there's care here? Yeah, absolutely. I do think that they cared about each other. Do I say it's explicitly love? I don't know. It's just that Anne was very bitchy towards her. Anne is I mean, not Anne. Ellen. Ellen was very bitchy towards Anne. And Anne is giving that energy of no shade to the men. But Anne is giving that energy of like a emotionally available, love bomber, narcissistic man. Like that's what Ellen's energy is giving towards Anne when it comes to this dynamic. And I think Anne helped her in any way that she could when it comes to Ellen, even as far as like shutting down any rumors or shutting down any discrepancies between their connection. I do think that Anne loved her and cared about her more than Ellen cared about her. Ellen is just showing up as a very cold, individual towards Anne. But you know what? I think that Ellen wasn't planning on staying with this woman for long. And I don't even think they were married, were they? She wasn't. I don't think she was planning on staying with this woman for long. And I can even go as far as say that Ellen had a little bit of intel on Anne's future, like as far as what's gonna happen to her. I don't want to explicitly say like Ellen knew that Anne was going to pass away somehow, some way, but Ellen knew that Anne, and she didn't see it for that Anne. She didn't see it for that Anne. She didn't see it. She didn't see that Anne was going to last very long in the industry. Ellen viewed Anne as weak. She viewed her as weak, especially when it comes to keeping secrets, and being a part of the industry. Being a part of the industry is not for the faint of heart. And Ellen viewed Anne as weak. She did. And when they got together, I think that Ellen's attraction was very superficial. Maybe she found Anne attractive and was popping at the time, and so therefore Ellen got together with Anne, and I guess the relationship wasn't so bad to where they broke up immediately, but I think they were together for a while. And yeah, I guess it looked good for Ellen to get with Anne. My next question is, like I mentioned before, Anne had bought a wig prior to her death, but why? Why did Anne Heche buy a wig prior to her death? The Page of Cups, the Hermit, the Hanged Man, the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands. She wanted to go unnoticed. Yeah, she wanted to go unnoticed. The lady that I watched on YouTube when she did a deep dive on Anne's death, she said, she said that Anne had substance issues, and they claimed that they found, cocaine in her car once they, went to the crime scene or whatever, or the accident scene. And maybe she was off to go buy some, maybe. And she wanted a disguise. She wanted a disguise. I think she was going to go handle something after she went to go buy the wig. But you know what I think, y'all? I think that while she was in there buying her wig, and this is just what I'm, picking up. This is not what I'm picking up on the cards. This is just my own, what I feel actually happened. I think that somebody fucked up the mechanics on her car when she went to go purchase that wig. And that's what caused her to crash into that house. That house. That's what I think. Somebody fucked up her car and caused her to crash. That's what I think. But we gonna ask the question. Why did she end up crashing her car? Why did Anne Heche end up crashing her car shortly after buying her wig? The Hierophant. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, they killed her. Yeah, they murdered her. What the fuck did I just say, y'all? The Chariot in the reverse literally popped out. What did I just say? They rigged that fucking car. They rigged that fucking car. And that's what caused it to crash. They rigged it while she wasn't looking. Somebody did. It was an inside job, y'all. Yeah, it was an inside job. And the industry, they did it. And was it because she was going to do a documentary on trafficking? Was it because Anne was going to do a documentary on trafficking? Yeah. Yeah, she talked too much. She wasn't afraid to she wasn't afraid to, like, like, stick it to the man. You get what I'm saying? She wasn't afraid to um basically voice how she felt. She wasn't. And I think that she didn't get social cues when it comes to industry things. And that's why her girlfriend Ellen says, like, she don't know how to she don't she don't know how to keep her mouth closed. And back then, y'all, I think that propaganda surrounding like industry stuff wasn't very it wasn't very popular. And everybody was still outside, like, when things were going on. Like, everybody was, I mean, excuse me, everybody was still inside because this kind of all happened like close to COVID. And so if she were to have voiced her opinion, it just wasn't a good time. Um, People were inside, people had time, people weren't working, people had time to actually ruminate about any exposure to trafficking or anything about that. And it was a bad idea because given the climate and the state of the world, people had no choice but to sit on that information, and it was going to be very awkward. It was going to be very awkward. And yeah, they said mm-mm. um I think that was my last question. I think that was, yeah, that was it. That's it, y'all. I ain't got no more. I think I'm gonna come back on. I need to charge my devices though. I need to charge everything because reading in the dark is not very comfortable. Um, yeah. So I'll see you guys in a little bit, I think, and back with another reading. I suppose I just got to think of what I'm going to, like, read on, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay. Bye.